Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another modern video. We are on the play as per usual. I don't really like this hand, just in case he has a Thoughtseize or something like that. We're pretty much dead in the water. So we're going to mulligan. Hey, we've got a 1-drop. Now, true, he would still be able to Thoughtseize this away, but my hopes is that, with enough creatures like we have, we'll at least have something left by the time we draw another land. Alright, so we're against Blastoise, which is curious that the Pokemon are now crossing over. Oh, goodness. So it looks like either going to be a blue-white-red / straight blue-white matchup, or I know that, let's see, Gifts plays Colonnade, as well as Blue-White Tron. I guess it's Blue-White Tron Gifts now for the most part. So, hopefully, we'll be too fast for him. Now we may just see, yeah, he's gonna, oh, okay. I was gonna say I was expecting to see a, Let's cast this for 2 life now. My reasoning behind that is we'll be able to respond with the Might of Old Krosa, if he fetches for a bolt. That's my hope here. No, so it looks like he's just holding up path. So in hopes to not lose, any more pump spells, I'm just going to attack in there. Let's offer up a Necropede, just because we have 2 of them instead of offering up the Livewire Lash. I could see the Livewire Lash coming in handy in this matchup, because once we get it attached to his creature whenever he tries to remove it, which is what these decks try to do. Yep, so this is definitely blue-white-red in my opinion. The control version. Now, is it the Sean McLaren type control with the Kiki in it? We will have to see. This is going to be a long old match. Yeah, it definitely looks like just the control version. So I'm not going to animate the Inkmoth and attack with both, because we're just begging to get electrolyzed at that point. We're going to declare an attack. Shuffle in there. So, do we attempt to Might of Old Krosa and get our guy eaten by a removal spell? Or do we play a Livewire? Let's just attack in there, see what he does. I guess I'm thinking really for the early game here, but I mean, if we can wear him out of resources, I think we'll have a some electrolyze. So I was right with that assumption. So I'd like, okay, speak the devil, yeah. And we cannot play another land when we get it, because we don't want to get tech edged here. The unfortunate thing about Apostle's Blessing is it is a 2-drop, so if he does something like, say, Lightning Helix, something that takes up 2 mana, he would, I know in this scenario he would only have a colorless left, but if he, say, had just one blue left over, he would be able to respond and counter our Apostle's Blessing when normally that would just be a trump. Alright, so our opponent's thinking. Have to exile. So, I could go in here, so this is sort of a scenario that I just talked about. So if we go in here with the Apostle's Blessing, our opponent could easily just reply with a counterspell. I'm going to go in there for the Apostle's Blessing, just see if we can run him out of resources, because next turn we can deploy a Necropede. So, a Bolt is also something that we'd be fearing to see. Basically just another piece of removal. Okay, so a mana leak on our thing. Yep, that's fine. Cancel. Now, I am curious here if the proper play would be to not use this ability, because we'd want to be able to draw another Inkmoth, play it, and have that angle of attack without him being able to Tectonic Edge us. I'm going to say yes, just in hopes of thinning our library out. But the idea of not searching something up in order to be able to play another manland is a very real option that I guess should be considered. So our opponent is at 3 cards in hand. See, something like this, I'm not going to play it. Well, I mean, why not? Any reason why not to? I guess it'll, bring him down on land. It'll be one less before he's able to Celestial Colonnade. Alright, so we're going to play Mr. Necropede. I'm also curious if leading with Livewire Lash would have been better. I know if I were playing that deck, I probably would have let it through just because, it's not an immediate threat, and in the future, you can just bolt their guy or whatever when he goes to do the equip. Curious if our opponent has something like Supreme Verdict in his deck. Snapcaster Mage, Pather Guy. Okay. So our opponent's got the beatdowns coming. Let it stick. Come on, baby. Alright. So our hope, our prayer, is that we can land a creature. Like if we landed another Glistener Elf, that would be fantastic because we'd have oodles of mana held up. Geist of Saint Draft. So he looks to be more the mid-rangey version. Rancor. See, this would have been the one turn that I would have absolutely adored to have drawn a creature. So we're definitely going to be on the clock here. We could have, because if we had a Glistener Elf, pay 2/2. Yeah, it's real. It's a real possibility that we could have killed him that turn. But alas, it was for naught. So our opponent rumbles in there for a whole pile of damage. And does he have Bolt? No Bolt? Ichorclaw. Alright. I don't like Ichorclaw because it can get spell snared. It's not one of those soft counters that he can hit us with. Although at this point it doesn't really matter. Because if we paid for it, so Snapcaster then play Mana Leak, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we'll give our opponent this game. And what do we side in against them? I'm going to bring in 2 more Ranger Skiles, just for protection against our dude. Going to bring in 1 Ranger Skyle over Apostle's Blessing. And then we're going to bring in a couple Nature's Claims. I know it does seem like we're boarding quite a bit. And we're bringing these in just in case he brings in some pesky Spellskites. So for those, we're going to bring out Groundswell because we're not going to reliably be able to hit our landfall, especially when we're bobbing and weaving around counter spells. I'm going to cut 1 Livewire Lash. Livewire Lash is a threat of sorts, but it does require a creature, so I'm going to bring in 1 more Nature's Claim. I know it does seem like we're overboarding against something that we don't know is there, but a Spellskite combined with all his permission and removal would definitely be lights out for us. So this is certainly unkeepable. You know, we... yeah. So we will mulligan down to 6 cards. No. Ugh. Alright, let's keep it. So this definitely looks like a losing proposition for us. We have no protection for our guy. We only have the man land. I just don't think it was correct to keep the 1-lander against our opponent. It could be argued that because this game's probably going to go long, it didn't matter, and I was overvaluing the quick game. But I think, oh my goodness, all the Rancors. I think that we're just not equipped for the early game. We're not equipped for the late game as much. Sure, you know, earlier I mentioned trading for resources with him, but once he starts Sphinx's revving, which isn't as backbreaking for us because the life gain doesn't matter, it's just that he'll have, you know, so much card selection. And, you know, card advantage and card selection is certainly one of the cornerstones of Magic, and is something that we can definitely lose from. So our opponent doesn't seem worried in the slightest, so this definitely would have been one of those hands where if we had a good early game, we definitely would have done a number on him. So I certainly don't want to walk into... Okay, I was going to say Electrolyze. So we're going to say go. So 2 drops are reasonably shut off now, as he has access to Snapcaster Mage. Oh, you dirty Tectonic Edge. And we're just going to say go. We don't want to expose the Inkmoth yet again. And you know, now that I'm thinking about it, a nice play may have been to... Inkmoth Nexus, attack in there, then Glistener Elf. Now, I'm saying that prior to having seen Restoration Angel. So we're going to deny using the ability just because we don't want to, you know, have him destroying our land with Tech Edge. Now it'll be pretty rough beats if he does have a second Angel here to surprise us with. I guess we're not in total panic mode yet. Although, I mean, the triple Rancor hand is never a good hand against a deck with a lot of removal like this. All sorcery speed type stuff. So let's just say pass. Yeah, our opponent's bringing in stuff on tap because he clearly doesn't care about his life total in this matchup. Another Geist? Yes. So I'm going to go in there. He's most likely got a Bolt or a Path, but at least this time we have a Giant Growth to try and protect against it. But for the foreseeable rest of this game, it is going to be kind of like a kid fighting his dad. You know, we've got not much chance. What do we got? All Snappy and then a Path. So we're just going to say yes at this point. Double Tectonic Edge, oh baby. Our opponent's playing around with his mana. Sphinx's Revelation? Celestial Colonnade attack. Alright, so that'll be 4, 6, that's 10. So, alright. GG. Alright, so that was pretty good beating, but I mean, it's got to happen every now and again. So, I'll be seeing you guys next video. Until next time.